What going on, guys? Commander here, and welcome to a new video on Clone Wars Adventures Emulator. Now, this is a video that I've not held off doing for a while, but just that I've not had time to do. And that is just mainly because I've had so much other stuff to do, such like traitor stuff, other YouTube stuff. I work outside of YouTube as well, and other stuff like that as well. So I've not actually had time to come back into Clone Wars Adventures Emulator that much, but I have been keeping up to date with the Discord, all the different updates they pump out. And there's been enough added to the game, one big feature which I'm going to be showing off in a bit, that means I've got enough of a video to, like, show you and to make a decent video out of, right? Now, no actual main official update has released as of recording this video, so like last time we did the reconnection update, and I suppose you could say that the update is called the housing update, but it wasn't, as far as I'm aware, officially called the housing update. It was just an update that adds housing and furniture into the game. So it's just an update as far as I'm aware, but it's enough to make a video on. So that's what we're going to be doing, one of the things we're going to be doing today. A couple of other things that they've added in is, as you can see, just from my looking around, is the graphics, the graphical fidelity and lighting have drastically been improved in this game. I mean, I'll put before and after on the screen now. Well, I'll put a side by side or do something on the screen now with what it was before like and what it is now, just to show you how good it looks. And this is not how I'm 99% sure, not how Clone Wars Adventures looked like in the original back in 2010. I believe that this update has been put in, this better lighting has been put in for the purpose of this emulator, and it's one of the actual things they've changed properly for the better, which again, like I said, I'm not actually against it. Like, I don't mind remakes of things so long as they keep it as close to a homage of the original as possible. And it's not like there's a difference between a redo and a remake. You know, if you're redoing something, you're redoing it all from scratch, keeping the same basis and what have you, but changing the fundamentals so it pays homage to the original, but it's still its own unique thing. This is what I would call a remaster. Everything is being kept as everybody remembers it, a bit like Halo 2 Anniversary, where it's all exactly as everybody remembers it. It's just got a few updated features to make it run better and it looks better as well. This is how I see this game. Not necessarily a remake, but a remaster. So, brought in for the newer PCs and what have you, and with better graphics and everything, but still looks exactly as everybody remembers it. And I'm fully for that. You know, I'm not against changes like visual fidelity. I'm against changes like, if let's say this entire war room looked completely different from what the original looks like. You know, I can put a picture on the screen now of what the original war room looked like back in 2012. It's like, it looks exactly the same as this, it's just the lighting is a little bit different. Hell, even the logos for Republic Defender and the models for Commander Cody and Mace Windu are exactly the same. You know, the only actual difference really is you've got the 322nd Troopers here instead of whatever the blank white clone troopers were. But I don't mind that because it's updating it to make it a bit more relevant. You know, I don't mind little details like that because, again, the clone models are exactly the same as they were originally, as far, or if they're not, they're as close as damn it. And the art style, even of the helmet, looks as close to the original, like as if it was in the game originally back in 2012, before this even was, I believe, a concept art. But anyway, let's look at the new little things they've added. So a few things they've added is, let's do our daily spin quickly, just to see how much, just to have a look at getting a few more credits, which will be helpful when we go and buy stuff for our housing. Okay, so nearly 2,000 credits. That's not too bad. There's another one here which is new called Daily Trivia.
To test your Clone Wars knowledge. Respond quickly without guessing incorrectly to receive maximum credits for your answers.
Now bear in mind, I was only like 11 when this game got shut down originally, and I was playing it for like 3 years previously. And I was just out of secondary school when this game actually got shut down. So let's see if my knowledge is actually any better. So who commanded the 104th Battalion? Oh Christ. Mace Windu, was it? No. Fisto? No, it was Plo Koon. It's these little things. Where did MU begin development? Oh Christ. 18, no. 20. 15, 16. It's been in development for 5-6 years. Christ. Recapture is going to be carried out by the Starfighter assassin Captain Argyle. So I know that one. That's easy. After Ventress is cast away from Dathomir, which planet did she finish first? Visit first. Tatooine? Yep. That's where she met the bounty hunter with Boba Fett. Who created 327th Star Corps? Kiadi Mundi? No. Shakti? Aida Secura. I didn't know Aida Secura was a star. I didn't know they were a Star Corps. I thought they were just a battalion, not a Star Corps. Because Kiadi Mundi's was a Star Corps as well, I think. But I don't know. Yeah, see, that's even me. Like, that's how just goes to show that even I don't really know Star Wars that well. But a couple of those were like really quite difficult because two of those questions were like who commanded the particular battalion. But unless you play absolute complete, I think a lot of these are like book references as well, which I don't read books generally. But yeah, you don't. It's not really something that's, I would say, common knowledge personally. But I suppose that's the point of trivia, really, isn't it? But I didn't realise that this emulator has been in development for what, like 2016 for 6 years. This emulator has been developed for 6 years. Bloody hell! Going to another daily trivia. I'm not going to bother with that again. Starfighters apparently had a bit of an update. So it's still only one mission. It's called Evacuation on Excarga, right? But apparently it's had a couple of visual updates. So let's have a go with it and see what we can find. I'm not entirely sure. I remember last time it was very like robotic. And it's sort of like you felt like you were just dragging like your mouse with a Starfighter literally glued to your cursor. So let's see if this is any better. Okay, right, so we've got a few more visual updates. So as far as gameplay is concerned, there's not really that much. But you can definitely see where the visual, they've added like better explosions to the to things that you destroy, which is nice. Again, I still feel like the Starfighter is glued to my screen. I can't quite remember what the original looked like, but what you've got to also take into account is this is very heavy in development. So I'm not judging this level too hard. The explosions are as pretty much as I can remember. I can't remember these little details too much, but it is a nice detail. It just shows they are, you know, however much like it doesn't look perfect, it's still bloody good. Like, it's good what they've actually managed to do. I'm not saying it's bad per se. I'm not even saying necessarily that it's actually like perfect to the original, but like I said, an improvement is better than something getting worse. Like, you know, so I'm actually happy with the way that it's gotten better. The one thing I would actually say is that I'm actually really interested to see is that, like, in like another year's time when we come back to this, or I do like another update video and they say they've updated the game even more, updated this level even more, just come back and see like how things have improved and how, like, over the course of various different versions of this that we've got, how it's actually got better and better and better. That'd be a good thing to actually come back to and then do sort of like a side-by-side of like a development log on their behalf and see, like, you know, this is where we started off from, this was the middle point, and this is where it ended off, which I think would be pretty good. That'd be an interesting thing to do. I see. Now, as you can see, we've got another player, which means that, so part of this, the reconnection update, was you had other players, right? He's gone now, he's sorted off, right? But so part of this, the alpha update, the reconnection update, was that you can have like players around you. Now, it's a bit difficult for me to actually grasp to the extent of which people are actually on this server, because my time zone is very different to a lot of people's, so my time zone is completely different from everybody else's. So like my evening is, for like, say for a lot of Americans, my evening is their like early morning. Right, so now what I want to do is Lightsaber Duel has actually added another character as a player, which is Ahsoka Tano.
The skilled Padawan of Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker specializes in the acrobatic Ataru lightsaber form. Only a test in the dueling arena can determine if her skill outmatches your own.
I tell you what, I'll never get bored of listening to Tom Kane narrate over this, because, you know, obviously, sadly, he's had a stroke and he can't do voice acting anymore, so hearing his voice is, you know, in these really old things being restored is obviously a godsend anyway. But just the nostalgia of listening to like these audio files, I'd really like to know where they get the old files from, because like I said, you know, this isn't necessarily just like a remake where it just pays homage to things. So like the graphics are slightly different and they're not quite as everybody remembers, but it's close enough. No, this is exactly the same as it was back in 2012. I'd be really interested to see where they got all these assets from and whether they actually, how they reference it, where they drew it all themselves or what have you. There's me. Clone Trooper looks weird with a lightsaber, but Right, press any key to begin. Down, up, down, right. I'm quite quick on this. I'm a lot quicker than I ever used to be. There's me with a clone trooper with Bay Force. That's cool. We're looking at the animation. It's like, it's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely bloody close. Like, you can see a lot of, like, in Ahsoka's animation, there's a bit of clipping, especially with her Leku. You can see, especially in the start animation, there was a lot of, like, clipping within her Leku. But generally speaking, it's pretty bloody good. Like, I'm very impressed. Like, you can see there, like, the lightsaber's in the wrong place and things like that. But, and you can see my fingers then were a bit weird. But generally, it is bloody close. Like, I'm actually really impressed. I said that when I did the one with Obi-Wan at the start. I'm actually really impressed with how good it actually looks. You know, because it is really, like, accurate to the original. I've got to look at the screen and actually look at what's going on just so I can, like, make comments on it as well. And I'm having to just, like, use all my, like, knowledge and concentrate properly. That's why I'm not commentating properly. But, right, but that was fun. That's a new level of lightsaber duel. Again, very nostalgic, as always. What else have we got? I want to just quickly try blaster training a second, because apparently, I don't know whether this has got an update, but I noticed beforehand when we tried it, it was very buggy. Like, lasers didn't actually register properly. So let's have a go with this. Oh yeah, that's much better. Yeah, that is 10 times better. Look at that. Or I might actually have to have a go with this on hard difficulty. That aim is crisp. That aim accuracy is so much better than what it was beforehand. That is insanely good. I'm gonna put a video on the screen now just to show you what it was beforehand. Now, as you can probably see, I was shooting at things with my cursor, but nothing was registering. To see that actually now working perfectly are we on medium now? Okay, that's fine. We'll work our way up. But to see that now registering near enough pinpoint perfectly is actually a really, like, a welcome relief. Like I said, it's nice to see development of things, but you see all these, like, new features and stuff like that, and you know, you go for a while without, like, an update. You just see these little work in progress things. It's like, you know, what else have they actually done in amongst, you know, you got this massive team working, and then you think, you know, what's the rest of the team done? And then you find little things like this where it's not actually in the patch notes, but, you know, my God, it's a welcome relief to finally get this sort of thing working, because, like I said, it's not a really, like, major map or major game. It's just a little arcade game, but it's a little arcade game that's just a lot of fun to play and try and get a high score on, you know, and it sort of works your reflexes a bit. Alright, so blaster training, we can say with great credulity that is pretty much 99% there. A little bit of calibration towards the mouse, I think. It might just be me not shooting properly, but that mini game is pretty much there now. Star Type always was back in the original, when I did an update ages ago. That was pretty much there anyway, so no need to worry about Star Type. But Stun Gungan again is pretty much there anyway. Starfighter still needs working on, but again, still in development. And Lightsaber Duel, again, beyond just, like, quality of life changes, so, like, let's say animation issues and, like, clipping between each other things, generally not a problem. Works perfectly fine. So yeah, very impressive. Republic Defender obviously works as intended anyway. That was always very impressive. Now, anyway, let's have a go with housing. Now, I want to buy myself a new housing lock. So I've just got the Padawan dorm. And I fancy buying the Jedi living quarters. So let's click buy, click purchase. Right, did we buy it? Okay, well, I'm satisfied with that. I bought it, it didn't take the credits off me. That's better than what it did last time, which was actually kick me off the server. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But anyway, never mind. We won't talk about things like that. Right, so now with this place has got various different parts. There's a party deck and there's a personal hangar, but I think we need to unlock those later on. But first, let's go about organising and buying things for our house. So furniture first. We'll go for a couple temple archives. Just to actually let's start off simple. Right, let's go party deck set. We'll buy those as well. Right, start off with that. Right, so now I need to know. Alright guys, so I've figured out the button I need to do to actually edit my dorm, thanks to help from one of the mods and developers. So because I am stupid. Anyway, so let's start off with something a little bit more simplistic, so, shall we? So we'll just go into this corner here. So what I essentially want to do is I sort of want to have like little, like the swimming pool to have like, you know, some chairs around it so people can have a swim and, you know, whatever. You maybe have a, is this a fountain? Or yes, I don't know, can't we have a, let's have a fountain next to the pool here. Is that a fountain or is that a table? Actually, it looks like a table. So let's add a couple chairs. A chair there, and let's go like a bench looking thing there. There we go. So what else have we got? No guests, got bed, got a few chairs, some lights, some like lamps and plants. I can put a plant on, put a couple of plants on the table. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to decorate it a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. I've shown you just how the basics of it actually works. And let's see where this goes. Right, so this is what I've got working on so far. Like I said, it's pretty empty. But like I think I said before, housing and furniture isn't my forte when it comes to this game. And like when I played it even back in 2012 and even before, it's like this is like this game was more for like playing little mini games like Galactic Forces and like Republic Defender and Starfighter and things like that. The housing and social aspect of this game never really appealed to me that much. Mainly just because I noticed this when I use like Unreal Engine and that, is that like I'm not very creative as far as like world building is concerned. You know, let's say with Unreal Engine, my forte is with like texturing and animation and like getting a setting and bringing it to life with like various like lighting elements and different characters doing various different things. That's where my forte is. Level building is not my forte, right? You do not want me as an interior designer unless you know exactly what you want. Right, if you tell me exactly what you want, like you want this here, you want this painted, this colour, you want this here, that there, wherever, fine, I'll do it. I'll do it to the letter. That's exactly where everything's going to go, exactly as you describe it. If you tell me, do what you want, I'm out of the door. I haven't got a clue. Because my creativity is to do with the actual doing of things or actually the planning of where everything is supposed to go. You do not want me as an interior designer. And you can probably see that just from my house. You know, I'll put some screenshots on the screen now of various different things that people have made in their housing lots, and it's nothing in mine is nothing in comparison with theirs, but that's just because their creativity comes in with their scene building and their environment building, but whereas mine isn't, blending a little bit. I've got a couple sofas over there, I've got a little sit down area here, I've got barriers up against the swimming pool to stop so people falling in, but a gap here and a gap over there so people can get in and out. Some lights on the side of the swimming pool with a couple of flowers as well and plant pots. So again, I don't think it's terrible per se. It's just, it's not brilliant, you know? So that's about all I have time for in this video here. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for more awesome gaming content. Again, if you have any suggestions for things I can do in Clone Wars Adventures Emulator or things you want to see that I can do, then leave them in the comment section down below, because like I said, I love this game, and if there's anything I may have missed, then, you know, I'll happily go over them, but I think I've covered pretty much everything since the last update. Also, if you have any questions about the game, I do want to say, and I put a disclaimer right at the start of the video, I'm not a developer on this game. I'm literally just an independent social. You could, if anything, just call me a journalist, right? A game journalist reviewing this game to see the development and see how far it's come. I've got no affiliation with the development of this game whatsoever. It is literally just me coming on this game because I enjoy it and I get nostalgic by it, and just making videos on it because to see how well this lives up to the original. So there'll be a disclaimer at the start of the video anyway. There'll be a disclaimer in the comment section down below because a lot of people seem to get confused by that. On one of my videos, I think it was actually the Reconnection update, the last update that I did. Everybody was saying, there's loads of people saying, oh, you know, when's, you know, how do I get access to the multiplayer? You know, when is the multiplayer coming out? When's this coming out? When's that coming out? And I'm like, I don't know. I've literally not got any idea at all because I'm not a developer. I don't know how this all works. You know, so ask on the Discord link will be down in the description down below if you want to go and ask in the community, and also find out how to get yourselves access to the closed beta, or a chance to get access to the closed beta that I'm currently using. Because I think as of recording this video, they're doing a giveaway, I think, of closed beta. They're doing like a competition, but you'll have to go in the Discord and figure that out for yourself, because I don't quite know when this video is actually going live, and the event might be over by then. But there are plenty of opportunities to get access to the closed alpha, which is the version I'm using. So keep your eye out, join the Discord, ask a few questions, get involved with the community, a bit more than I do, and see if you can get access to the closed beta. Maybe I'll see you within Clone Wars Adventures at some point in the future. So, after all that, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I shall see you all later. Bye!